Alright, so let's talk Europe. Specifically, we're diving into what I'm calling the European power play, a sort of quiet, intense game of chess unfolding right now. Three major players are at the board: Germany, France, and Italy. The central question is this: who among them is best positioned to significantly lead Europe as we head towards 2025? Germany, France, Italy, they are the engines of the European Union, each an economic juggernaut, a cultural powerhouse, and a historical titan. They're locked in a subtle yet incredibly fierce competition for influence. This is a different kind of contest, one fought on the battlefields of demographics, through diplomacy, and in the arena of global economic dominance. It's about soft power, hard power, and everything in between. We're going to try and unravel this intricate power struggle, layer by fascinating layer. And as is so often the case when trying to understand a nation, we begin with its most fundamental component, its heartbeat, its people. When we talk about a nation's people, it's not just a head count. We're talking about demographics, age structures, birth rates, migration patterns. These factors impact a country's economy, social cohesion, and future. Germany, Europe's economic anchor, faces an aging population. Baby boomers are retiring and fewer young people are entering the workforce. This creates labor shortages and increased social service costs. Policymakers are debating solutions like immigration and later retirement. France, with higher birth rates, has a different demographic picture. Pro-natalist policies have given France a demographic advantage. A larger young population means a dynamic workforce and more innovation. Italy faces a crisis with one of the lowest birth rates and significant emigration. This demographic decline creates economic challenges. By 2025, these dynamics will shape their strengths and vulnerabilities. Now let's talk about what those people do, how they generate wealth and power through their economies. Germany, France, and Italy each have distinct economic profiles, strengths, and vulnerabilities. First up, Germany. Germany boasts an incredibly strong industrial base, particularly its Mittelstand, a network of small and medium-sized enterprises that are often world leaders in their niches. This manufacturing prowess gives Germany a powerful export-oriented economy. However, this reliance on manufacturing and exports also presents challenges. An export-heavy economy is vulnerable to global economic downturns and trade disputes. The transition to a green economy and the rise of digital technologies are forcing German industry to adapt. Now let's turn to France. France's economy is characterized by its diversity. It has strong industrial sectors, a large services sector, and significant state involvement in key industries. This diversification can be a source of resilience. France also benefits from strong domestic brands with global recognition. However, France faces challenges, including persistent unemployment and a complex regulatory environment. And then there's Italy. Italy's economy is a mix of high-end manufacturing, niche markets, and tourism. Italian design, craftsmanship, and tradition give them a unique competitive edge. However, the Italian economy has struggled with low growth, high public debt, and political instability. The challenge for Italy is to unlock its full potential. Bureaucracy, a slow justice system, and issues with infrastructure can deter investment. So, while Germany brings industrial might and France offers a diversified portfolio, Italy's economic muscle is often constrained by internal factors. Each nation's economic structure will profoundly influence its capacity to lead in 2025. Germany's industrial strength, France's economic diversity, and Italy's niche markets each play a role. The balance of economic power is a key factor in the European power play. Now, let's talk about military strength. The ability to project force and defend national interests is crucial for a nation's power. Let's start with France. France is a recognized nuclear power with an independent deterrent. This places it in a different strategic category. France maintains a professional and expeditionary military. French forces are often involved in global operations. They have a well-equipped army, air force, and navy. France invests significantly in its defense industry. Now let's shift to Germany. After World War II, Germany adopted military restraint. Recent shifts have triggered a Zeitenwende. Germany announced a massive increase in defense spending. This could alter the military balance in Europe. However, Germany faces challenges in this ramp-up. The Bundeswehr has suffered from underinvestment. Rebuilding will be a long process. Finally, let's consider Italy. Italy's military plays a crucial role in the Mediterranean. Italy has a capable navy for securing trade routes. Italy is active in NATO and EU missions. However, budget constraints impact Italy's defense efforts. France leads with strategic depth, Germany is the awakening giant, and Italy is the Mediterranean guardian. Each role is distinct, contributing to their overall power. Their military capabilities will shape their influence in 2025. A nation's power isn't just about what it has within its borders, it's also about how it projects itself beyond those borders. This is where diplomacy, economic leadership, and cultural impact come into play. France wields considerable global influence through its extensive diplomatic network. It's one of the 5 permanent members of the UN Security Council. French diplomacy is active across the globe, with a focus on Francophone countries in Africa. France sees itself as a champion of multilateralism and a key architect of European integration. The concept of rayonnement or radiance is important. French culture, language, and ideas have global appeal. Now let's look at Germany. Germany's global influence is primarily rooted in its economic leadership. As Europe's largest economy and a global export champion, Germany's economic policies have a ripple effect far beyond its borders. Germany is a strong advocate for international trade rules and institutions. Culturally, Germany's influence is significant, known for its engineering excellence, environmental sustainability, and vibrant contemporary arts scene. Finally, Italy. Italy's global influence is most powerfully expressed through its immense cultural impact. Italian art, architecture, music, fashion, design, and cuisine are celebrated worldwide. This cultural capital translates into significant soft power. Millions of tourists flock to Italy every year, drawn by its historical sites and vibrant culture. However, Italy's ability to translate this cultural richness into consistent political or economic influence has been hampered by internal challenges. So you have France's diplomatic and strategic projection, Germany's economic leadership, and Italy's unparalleled cultural resonance. Each contributes to their overall standing as they navigate the complexities of 2025. The balance of power is fluid, constantly shifting, and increasingly shared. The debate is what makes it fascinating. Let's talk about geography. The physical landscape a country occupies, its location, borders, and access to resources plays a profound role in its destiny. Let's consider Germany, situated right in the heart of Europe. This central location is both a tremendous asset and a historical vulnerability. It makes Germany a natural crossroads for trade, transport, and communication. However, this same centrality has historically made Germany a battleground. Today, its central location means it's at the forefront of many European challenges. Now, let's look at France. France has coastlines on the Atlantic Ocean, the English Channel, and the Mediterranean Sea. This gives it incredible strategic maritime depth and access to diverse sea lanes. France also possesses a diverse topography, contributing to its economic diversity. However, managing its extensive coastlines requires significant resources. Finally, Italy. Italy's geography is dominated by its long, boot-shaped peninsula jutting into the Mediterranean Sea. This makes Italy a maritime nation with a commanding presence in the central Mediterranean. However, Italy's geography also presents significant challenges. The Apennine Mountains make east-west communication difficult, contributing to regional economic disparities. So, while its Mediterranean position is a strategic asset, its internal geography can be a source of fragmentation. Each nation's land tells a story of its past and shapes its future possibilities. Geography continues to play a significant role in their destinies. So, after all that, the people, the economies, the armies, the global swagger, and the very land they stand on, who actually comes out on top in this European power shuffle as we look towards 2025? It really depends on how you define power and what metrics you prioritize. Germany remains the undisputed economic giant. Its industrial capacity and central position in Europe give it enormous advantages. France brings a unique combination of nuclear capabilities, a globally deployable military, and a proactive diplomatic presence. Italy brings incredible cultural capital, a soft power that is the envy of the world. However, its internal struggles often hold it back from translating that cultural richness into consistent geopolitical dominance. In today's interconnected world, it's probably fair to say that no single one of these countries will rule Europe alone. The balance of power is fluid, constantly shifting, and increasingly shared. But the debate is what makes it fascinating.